Rudy J, everyone! Rudy J all the way to the stage!
Go, poet. Stand up and speak your truth. Tell us a good story. That's a good poet. Make us feel something. No. Make us feel exactly what you felt. Take us back to the moment, to the cuts you've already bled for. Here you are reclaiming. Go, poet. Let's relive your past for precisely 3 minutes. If you go over, cut it. Bonus points for extra emotion, maybe. If you don't make it too late, next poet, please. We will award your glory a mark of the moment. We will call it out so you know it. When it's over, we will go back to complacent. We will unfold the smiles we kept tucked in the face of all that pain. Can you believe what some of those poets have been through? Good thing it's just entertainment, not based on true story. Good thing it's just a well-rehearsed trauma, journal entry, memory, grief, just a human making sense of their own history. Good thing it's just a well-rehearsed trauma, journal entry, memory, grief, just a human making sense of their own history. Good thing it's over and we can drink tea and go back to the pretty things. Why don't any of them talk about how inspiring it is to stand up there? Why don't they remind us to stop and smell the roses, the poets, Godspeed? A 10 is the ticket, a 7 is barely worth it. Compete. Speak into that mic, share what's on that chest of yours, poet. Rip it open, loud, proud, articulate, poet. Reach us, poet. Teach us, poet. Go. Remind us why you matter again, poet. Prove it. We showed up, came all this way, planned an entire day, in fact, got front row seats and everything. We paid attention, didn't we? So move us with your scars, poet. It'll be worth it if you place, poet, if you chase, poet, if you can say you made something from all that pain, poet. Make it pack the biggest punch, pull out all those stops, form the bonds with the traumas. This is the game, right? We're all the same, but divided by a social climate. Tell us which side of the world is on fire, whose threat to survival is loudest, who had it the hardest, which one of you will be worth it. In the end, it's not about winning, but it is. It's not about piercing yourself with your own pen, but it is. Poets, please, we need a reprieve from all this monotony. What a gift it must be. Poet, don't ever stop chasing your dreams. You are so amazing, truly poetry. What an inspiration. Can we support you? Is it enough to, sorry. What an inspiration. How can we support you? Is it enough to just be here on your own dime, on your own time, with a few ears willing to listen? Truly so captivating. If only I could bottle up your passion and save it for later. All these stages, is it exhilarating? Isolating? All those eyes, or is it the lights cutting into your deepest wounds, or do you eventually just not feel it anymore? Poet, how do you pick the right scars? You must feel good about making a difference. When you get home, is it still dark? Did you always have so many feelings? What a gift. I mean, how do you breathe? Do you still get nervous to forget your own worth? I mean, your own words? Poet, it's your moment, polished and primed. Spit your truth. You better own it.
Keep that applause going for Rudy J, everyone. Judges, this is your first time tabulating the scores, so I'm going to tell you a little bit of an anecdote from my day. I stepped outside of my place, and I was waiting for my Uber, and he was taking a long time, and I went to hit my nicotine vape, but it was, in fact, my weed vape. And then I came here. All right, judges, 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. Up with, yeah, we got, in no particular order, a 9.3. We got yeah, let them know what you think. A 9.0. We got a 9.1, a 9.2, and a 9.7. Applaud the poetry and not the points. Now this is your, oh, is there a time? Is that what that is? Cool. I just saw time over there. We have time. We've got time, for sure. But yeah, what was the time? Do we do that? Are we doing that? What? 2:52. So like the scorekeepers are gonna do whatever, but that's the sacrificial poet anyway. So you know what I mean? Anyway, applaud the poetry and not the points. We are going to get this battle going. This is a death match. You are all gladiators if you are performing poetry on this stage right now, battling it out. A lot of people don't like the competition, but we love the competition here. That's why we're in the fucking room. On deck, you have Catherine Garrett, but please put your hands together for Merchant of Poetry. All the way to the stage.
You and I dance in a club, sandwiched between the pink pony girls and the fairy queens. The strobe lights cascade rainbow kaleidoscopes over the exposed skin of leather dandies and butch daddies. Your nails play my skin ivory like piano keys. Strum my sinews to accompany your symphonies as your body presses into me and the memories in my muscle group struggle to match the music. I tell you, I'm a bad dancer. And you pull me in by the belt loops and say, I think you're sexy anyways. Your touch so full of current, it turns my nerves live wire, makes my skin sheen with perspire. And suddenly this song I used to hate is starting to feel pretty good. This beer, more sweet than sour. The minutes melt into hours, and at a certain point our bodies just become noise. Music so loud, our eardrums are blown. All our words postponed, but our bodies know what to say when the sound drops out and the synth reverbs in our nerves. I find a melody in your curves. A musical literacy discovered in our synchronicity. Our pulses persistent that tonight we are not under open fire. This song is not hiding shrapnel that will shred our bodies into a massacre. The bass brags in our bones. I'm not striped like a bullseye. I am not staring down a barrel. I am not a body braced to absorb ammunition. Tonight, this beat makes our bodies bulletproof, and I get it now. Why, for generations, we burrowed in bars and called them belonging. Made the music a metamorphosis to become more ourselves. Tonight, there is no danger. Just you and I dancing, our pulses pounding in unison. I am, I am, I am.
.4. We got another 9.4. And then we got a 9.7 times 2. Another 9.7. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. On deck, you've got Brittany, but please give a warm welcome to Catherine Garrett, everyone.
The fear of something that falls between almost and fully human is believed to be a natural aversion. Example, anthropology says Homo sapiens killed off other species of almost humans. This vestigial uneasiness is thought to be as honest as blood can be. Think dolls, computer AI, robots, and in this case, me. All homunculi, the uncanny valley is what happens when you are stuck in shades of gray. Hypothesized relationship to the degree of an object's resemblance to a human, and then your emotional response. When I try to push my best friend's cousin off me, my hands pass through him like smoke. I am the sketched specter left over after you try to erase the pencil marks. Watching this unfold from the outside, I am human, but too drunk to do anything about it. He is human too. When they say whoever commits such an act of violence is a type of beast, I will tell you, he looked like a person for every moment I was with him. They call the man a demon as if I should have noticed the distinction. Did it really happen if I didn't recognize myself while he was doing it? New Year's Day 2016, newly 20, and I'm in the ER, trying to bridge the gap between almost and completely. My group of friends pretends this never happened. When my mother goes to confront him, he says, I wanted it to her face. I refuse to do a kit because it feels like overreacting, and his aunt does not know this when she says, I bet you've had a shower since. Just because you regret it doesn't make it what you're calling it. The concept suggests humanoid objects imperfectly resembling human beings provoke uncanny or strangely familiar feelings of revulsion among observers. The hands are the only thing I can remember properly. I won't look myself in the mirror for months. My mother calls this a defense mechanism, and I tell her it's respecting the dead. Ariana Brown says it takes love to name the damage on one's own body. I just let it rest before trying to find the words.
Keep that noise going for Catherine Garrett, everyone. And judges, let's see it. 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. From nowhere in particular, we got a 9.3. We have a 9.0. We have a 9.6. And we have 2 9.4s. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. Now on deck, we got Ivana, but please welcome to the stage, Brittany, everyone.
Heirloom tomatoes, I recently learned, are called that because the seeds have been passed on from generation to generation, traceable to at least 1951. That's the year to which you must be able to lineage track your tomato plant back in order to call it heirloom. They breed true, which is to say they remember. Unlike these lab-spliced frankenfruit of late-stage capitalism, perfect on the shelves but pulpy in the soul, these bland beauties of modernity are engineered for shelf life. Optimized for symmetry over substance, for style over soil, the platonic ideal of tomatoes, the profile pic of tomatoes, tomatoes with TikTok accounts and Brazilian butt lifts, tomatoes hosting Zoom retreats titled Red, E or Not, Cultivating Your True Colors, and Catch Up with Your Inner Child. Tomatoes who don't remember what the sun tastes like, brand aligned on the vine, shouting boundaries every time you reach for a knife. Tomatoes keeping it tight, keeping it light, keeping far from the burden of an inner life. The tomatoes on whom you swipe right but wouldn't trust to raise your seedling. Tomato polycules collectively manifesting marinara, identifying as fruit forward but emotionally unavailable. Microdosing pesticides to realign their gut flora. These new tomatoes have no plans to last. No thought for legacy, just vibes, baby. No seasons, no seeds, so long as the astroturf is green. But tomatoes that rot honestly, that bruise easily tenderized by the weight of memory have been silenced, have been sliced of their right to supermarket shelf space, and what's left in their place does keep the shape, but it loses the story. They say it's all in the name of preservation, but it feels more like a confidential operation. The truth softened till spreadable, left on slow heat, sealed tight, marketed as memory in jars designed to shine, but too clean to ever hold a life. Heirlooms held in a glass case, so future fruit can say, look at how we used to taste. Thank you.
And y'all better keep that noise going for Brittany, everyone. And judges, we got a 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. All right, we are seeing a 9.4. We got a 9.4. We got a 9.6. We got a 9.5. And a 9.5. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. Now on deck, we got Be Right Word. But please give a warm welcome to Ivana, everyone. All the way to the stage.
Oh, look, it's society. Yes, over there with the 12-inch bust down and the BlackBerry flip phone with the latest iOS update and the long nails and the cargo shorts with the Blundstone boots and the rain jacket and the all-black outfits with the umbrella and the look of dread on their face. Wait, don't look. They're looking over here. Soon they'll start speaking or judging. Whatever comes first, you know how society be. Anyone who's not typical is deemed unfortunate. Anyone who's not uniform is unwelcome. Anyone who's not able is dysfunctional. Anyone who's not quick, rapid, like a hamster wheel is a liability. Wait a minute, do you see that bag? It looks expensive. Shiny leather, smooth finish, expert tailoring. It's probably a $20,000 designer bag. Louis Vuitton, Loach, Prada, or a $400 knockoff. Depends on who you ask, depends on where the leather is actually from, or what country the bag is really made in. I wonder what's in it. Maybe it's the hopes and dreams of everyone, their dignity, their time, their freedom, their bodies, or maybe it's their salaries. Oh shit, I meant their rent money. It just seemed like this day's rent is 100% of what you earn, not 30% like it should be. Damn, I must have been confused by society, presenting as someone who has everything, who is everything, but really it's just a being on strings. Master isn't too far behind. It's a stage. The director is on the border of this simulation. I bet if I stayed quiet long enough, I'd hear it. The voices saying, yes, one more job. I'll sleep next month. I'll take a vacation next year. I need to save. Well, who's going to save us from this wheel, from this mess society has made? Ah, damn, I'm doing it again. I'm judging. I'm acting like I'm better. But oh, look over there. It's society. With the ripped denim jeans and the blue sweater and the scarf around their waist. Do you see them? With the familiar faces of you and me? I guess we're not so different after all.
Keep that noise going for Ivana, everyone. And judges, you're gonna get that 3, 2, 1 with an up with those scores. And we've got a 9.3. We've got a 9.7. We've got a 9.3. We've got a 9.5. We got another 9.3. Make some noise for the poetry and not the points. All right, on deck we got 1990s Chris, but keep that applause going for Be Right Word, everyone, all the way to the stage.
Now let's talk about unrequited love. Because the day I realized I was really in love was the same day I got fucked like a potato in a pot. You see, I've always run away from that green ghost lurking like vegetables in the garden. Most of you call it love. But have you ever wondered why you've got to open your mouth or at least your lips and then close it immediately when pronouncing it? Well, it's simple. It's because when a big shark swallows, the act is a quick open and close. Purpose is to trap the supposed Jonah. So when you open your mouth to say, I'm in love, you trap the next oxygen you need to breathe, and like a careless fish bone, it chokes you in the throat. Bolt your bliss like a dopey doll, you become vulnerable again, a child. So naive, and like John, rambling in the snow, you know nothing. But it was you who trapped yourself when you said you were in love. So the day I realized I was really in love, I realized too that my emotions were trapped in a trapezium of ambivalence because I had no control of myself. But I would never admit to that. I would never attest to the fact that sometimes falling in love can be as illogical as a soldier who calls the shooting sound of bullets noise. And when a soldier finally falls in love, all his trainings doesn't make him tough enough to break grounds molded by love's clay. He too becomes stupidly vulnerable. And even if you like, paint love's face with sexy names like Twilight's Wine, Scintillating Stars, or Celestial Symphonies. It doesn't justify why I had to be this madly in love with Toyosi. And then switched my voice into a tambourine and shook it, struck it, jingled it into her ears with the gentleness of a golden retriever, hoping to melt her heart by day and trap her body by night. But she looked back at me always and said, you know, bride, I'm not London Bridge, so you can't cross me. Shit.
Keep that applause going for Be Right Word, everyone. And judges, we got to keep it quick. 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. I said up with those scores. We got a 9.3. We got a 9.5. We got a 9.3. We got a 9.4. And we have a 9.6. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. On deck, we have Carla. But up right now, give a warm welcome to 1990s Chris, everyone. All the way to the stage.
I'm a bit nervous to be here. Although I've worn my pride pin, I'm not really sure if I fit. It's like wine in a plastic tumbler or mug. It's still wine, but you can't quite really properly enjoy it. There are a lot of loud shirts here. There are men looking at me. The drinks are cheap and my body's at ease, sort of. Between this and the local, this was a good choice. Now I'm singing the choruses of gay anthems, knowing just enough of the words at the top of my voice, with my partner, who is a woman, singing some of the words back to me. I just want to relate to somebody, feel the acceptance of somebody, with somebody who respects me. I'm on a sticky dance floor, teaching my limbs to do things they haven't been allowed to before. Things they were taught weren't for boys. I worry that people are looking at me, and at her, and at me, thinking that I'm just playing, that this pin is just nice guy aesthetic, that I could live this life or just as easily forget it, that my knowledge of Whitney Houston is at best pathetic, that I am a penis skeptic. Boy, you're just pretending, boy, don't belong here, masquerading faux femininity, you fair weather queer. Only out when the rainbow is, dancing on the right side of history, hiding in plain sight, living a straight life, little effort, little mystery. And if it's not them, it's her, wondering whether she's changed her mind about my sexuality. Because my body is moving too far from masculinity. Curves where straight lines used to be too far from the way I presented myself initially when we first met and she decided that she wanted me. It's a fun night out, juggling those anxieties. I know they're all coming from me. These people, these queer creatures of comfort between the binary, my people, have never said anything like that to me. And neither has she.
Keep that noise going for 1990s Chris, everyone. And judges, let's see those scores. Mathematicians over here. 3, 2, 1. Up with them. Come on, let's go. 9.6? Yeah, we got 9.8. We got 9.5. We got 9.4. And we got a 9.3. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right, on deck we got Jewels, but please give a warm welcome to Carla, all the way to the stage.
I hate to bring this up again. At a time like this, amidst all your disbelief. But I've been in conversation with the enemy. This, of course, is the alter ego known as my own fractured mind. As we speak, he tells me the truth is I will never be the sort of writer who deals not in the spoken word, but in the soul's work. I ask him what exactly he knows of the truth. Does he know what it is to pry your own hands open finger by finger and extract from those palms perfect honesty without blemish or bruise? I ask him what he knows about art like heart surgery, without room for error or inaccurate interpretation. Here is your scalpel, here is your pen. And here is the task: to extract the pure and undefiled truth from the heart of this body with no mess, no blood, and no brokenness. Keep the anatomy intact as a whole. Let the scar be sewn with stitches so tiny it heals as you work. Your words, like a spell, cause the evidence to disappear so no one knows you were ever even here, under the knife. If fear often draws you into conversation like he did with Eve, ask about poetry like prayer. Ask about recitations like bent knees, beating heart, breathless pace, and bruised spirit. Language, tone, and lyric. We create like the Lord, without limit. But instead of resting, on the seventh day we made an eighth. I want you to respond to the liar and the lies laid out before you. Hear them out one by one, every syllable ringing clear in your ears. Taste the bitterness and the brutality of deception and bear the weight of falsehood here, between your shoulder blades and the base of your neck. Oh, how you have been lied to, how you have believed it. Oh, how the truth will set us all free, how you must believe it.
Keep that noise going for Carla, everyone. And judges, we're getting so good at this now. 3, 2, 1. Put them up, put them up, put them up. 9.4. Oh, sorry, we're still waiting for all the scores to come up. 9.6. We got a 9.4. We got another 9.6. And we got a 9.0. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. On deck, we've got Shav, but coming up to the stage right now, give a warm welcome to Jules, everyone. All the way to the stage.
The droopy gray monster and I are trapped in a small windowless room. There's a wardrobe and a rug and a bed with a thin black sheet. He and I stand in the middle, staring. We are all each other has. Someone is at the door again. I am scared. My monster is scared. I lead him to the wardrobe and I push him in. I try to shut the door, but he doesn't fit anymore. I grab fistfuls and try to stuff him back in, but he spills out again. I rip him from the wardrobe and lead him to the center of the room. I grab the rug, throw it over top of him. He is obviously a droopy gray monster with a rug thrown on top. I try to hide him under the bed, but it rests on his belly and lifts from the floor. He wasn't always this hard to hide. I'm so sorry, monster, but we both know I cannot hide you anymore. Come out, take my hand, and stand with me here in the small, windowless room. Monster, oh monster, I wish I could do more, but it's time to open the door.
Keep that noise going for Jules, everyone. And we're getting so good at this. It's almost like repeat. 3, 2, 1. Up with those scores. And we've got a 9.6. We've got a 9.6. We've got a 9.6. Is what I mean. I'm on repeat. We got a 9.0. And we've got a 9.7. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right, on deck, we've got our pre-penultimate poet, Chuki, and coming up to the stage right now, please give a warm welcome to Shav, everyone.
Every child like me grows learning the same lesson. Knowledge passed down from fist or calloused hand, the rule of halves. Child, you'll walk twice as far to reach half the distance, work twice as hard for half as much, and still be expected to accept the path of least resistance. Give it your all and learn to anticipate the hate when you fall, because you eventually will, like all of us have. Learning the same lesson, tackling inhumane questions, grappling for inches of progression. My elders warned me not to rely on prying locks open, that education held the mold that would forge the key to our future. So we closed the covers on twice the books, but opened half as many doors. Twice the effort, half the reward. Twice the accomplishment for half the recognition. Children like me all have the same upbringing, systemic pessimism. And that's a tough glass to fill when you've only ever pulled from poisoned wells, counting, agonizing over every droplet that spills. But I've learned now with certainty that every child like me comes from a long line of tough souls, those who survived tighter confines, who defined their lives through defiant struggle. And those gifts they claim for my generation, sacrifices worn with pride, now thread an emperor in muskrat clothing. 40 acres and a mule, or 3 sharp inches, you will be buried before they relinquish claim. This is not another dying plot in a long list of damn shames. Our descendants didn't endure for us to make it halfway. And don't go saying putting up a fight ain't how you was raised. You were born to be twice as strong as our ancestors who broke free of their chains.
Keep that noise going for Shaft, everyone. Judges, we're doing so good at this. 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. All right, we've got a 9.7. We've got 4 9.7s. This is gonna save us the time. And we got a 9.5. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right, so on deck we have our penultimate poet, Alita Casey. But please give a warm welcome to our pre-penultimate poet of the night, Shuki, everyone, all the way to the stage.
Master, at least this you owe me, for I serve you well. Before I leave, do me this justice. Paint me with hog bristle, baptize me in oil, pour me on canvas, uncompromised, unapologetic, holy, Basquiat passion, crayon crooked crown of thorn, Last Supper, popping bottles, breaking bread with righteous homies. Make your servant divine. I too deserve to be painted. Majestic, Christ-like, knife grind me open like Picasso cubes. Paint me by number. What colors do you know to paint my portrait? There are a million shades of black. I am all of them. Uncompromised. A million shades of black. I am none of them. Unapologetic. Sky below feet. Sorrow and granites to paint skin. Paint me as lost boy, as town boy. Black boys don't get lost in the dark, we become it. Codify my smile. Calibrate my survival. Paint the rising and setting of spirit. I have been with you all this while. Watched you flower in renaissance, staring at how you make broken things breathe. I am past redemption. Too ugly to live with time still. I ask you, paint me. Leave nothing to imagination. When oil is dry, masters will flock to see me hang. On the line in Gallery 2, they feel safe here, watching a boy hanging out of breath. They feel safe here, watching a boy hanging out of breath. Strange fruit of labor. Pay price of my entry. Dada and surrealism of contemporary abstraction. Do me this justice. Burn this painting. Collage the ashes. This will be my portrait. This accurate reflection. Make me stay forever in this frame.
Keep that noise going for Chuki, everyone! And judges, we're doing so good with this. In a 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. We've got 2 9.7s. We've got 2 9.6s. And we've got a 9.8. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right, on deck, you got your ultimate poet to... You rap bastard, whatever. Damn you, linear time. Yeah, ruining for everyone. It was worth it. It was worth it. 218. Oh, yeah. Our scorekeepers know what to do with that. I don't fucking know. All right, on deck, you got your ultimate poet to fund me, Akinlalu, but please welcome your penultimate poet of the night, Alita Casey, for the first round.
connected travelers. Did you feel that? He's close in proximity. He must be. I mean, he used to visit me in my dreams, ask me questions like, how are you doing and what do you need? And upon waking, my phone would ring, and over my morning cup of coffee, I'd hear his voice through the telephone wire, asking me questions like, how are you doing and what do you need? Until that last time, eyes cold and glaring like wolves toward outcasts. But I've already been on my knees, first trudging and now pleading. No tests, my soldiers are weak. And on that quick fade to black, a tower collapses, and then nothing for months. Hurt, pain, and tears, and so many losses, and so much fucking anger that you just want to push and push and drop. And suddenly, he's close in proximity. I mean, he must be, because how else? I lay my head to sleep at night, and he visits me once again, and I see 2 sleeping beauties. How odd. I mustn't wake them, but I do wonder who will wake first. Such an interesting sight to see, traveling, but there, present. The urge to document, I take photos, and I forget to remove the flash. You must tiptoe. Taking in my surroundings, I see stories upon bookshelves I'd love to read, my hands brushing past the spines, fingering similarities. Is this yogic philosophy? Pulling the volume and placing it in my shoulder bag, I turn to find a place to perch, and he's standing there, woken, smiling, asking me if I need help with that heavy book. He would know, he wrote it. And his eyes, I think I've missed his eyes. And the soft glow of my sun lamp hits my eyes, and I shake the confused bewilderment over my morning cup of joe, and he must be close, because how else when I begged and prayed for these cords to be snapped, and upon wooden engravings all that remains is 2 connected travelers embraced.
Please keep that noise going for Alita Casey, everyone. Judges, we're doing so good this round. 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. Huh? Yeah, get it right, or whatever. 9.2? An 8.9? We got a 9.2. And we got, actually, that's the third score. A 9.7. And we have a 9.3. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. And we got time. How much? 2:16 this time. What's the difference between 2:18 and 2:16? I don't fucking know. But we're just going to move on. Please give a warm welcome to your one hybrid poet today, Tafunmi Akinlalu, everyone. Keep that noise going for To Find Me, I Can Lalo, everyone. Judges, your last chance to score in this round. 3, 2, 1, put them up. Put them up. I know y'all got distracted. We are doing great though. We have 3 9.6s once again. We got a 9.2 and we got a 9.8. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. And that brings us to the conclusion of our first round of poetry at Bout 1A of Canadian Individual Poetry Slam Championship 2025. How are you all doing right now in the audience? No, fuck off. How are you all doing right now in the audience? I know it's 36 poems. It's a slam. It gets real rowdy. I can't do anything about it, my love. But do take care of yourself, whatever you need to do. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Whatever you need to do. You need to step out for a second, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, like, take care of yourselves. We keep this energy going. Yeah, it's been 39 poems. We still got 13 more to go. We're going to do it, okay? Yeah, that's what I like to hear. All right, going right into it. We got our blood sacrificial poet. Please give it up for Cobra Collins.
We take comfort as smoke curls up towards the sky, a campfire sermon on a summer night. A constellation cookout of kindness and burnt coals, hot dog buns folded like hands in prayer. Toast to our marshmallow memories, we peel back our golden layers and share soft stories of grace, grief, and hope. We make sure to set aside a small plate of sustenance for all of our relations and all of our ghosts. Can you feel the thunder rumble of our stomachs as they grumble? We are all longing for a taste of the last place that we called home. To remember the roots of our family tree, or to plant a wheat field grown from heirloom scenes, to be a part of a community. A community that's gifts stocked at street corner pantries to those in need, or shares sourdough starters nailed to telephone posts to serve as a reminder that we are not alone. To be a part of a community that, when afforded abundance, builds a longer table, not a higher fence. And wouldn't it be so neat if we built a table long enough for everyone to have a seat? Harvested an honest conversation about access and equity. I do wonder if sometimes the sharp sting of history gets lost in translation. When do our words become weapons? We forage for context while rustic restaurants deep in the heart of the stony people's land serve up sauvage cuisine. A word that carries a different meaning depending on your mother's tongue, depending on where your mother is from. If we're not careful, the buzz of a word like resilience can end up ringing dinner bell hollow. And I know we're all just trying to follow a sustainable path. The best of our intentions remain intact. We can talk about giving back to the land, but when do we talk about giving the land back? I would love to only ever speak of sweetgrass and sage, the nourishment of neighborhood gardens, never of unmarked graves, only of fresh lobster, not the burnt out boasts of indigenous fishermen on our eastern coasts. To be called resilient without reparation is like the backhanded compliment of being called brave, when survival was the only choice that my grandmothers got to make. I don't think that there's a quick way to fix this, but I do think that it starts in a communal kitchen. Using the whole animal, speaking the whole truth, I do know that the only way forward is through. And remember, much like Bannock, we must also rest to rise up. There's a time to hunt, but for now, maybe let's gather around a campfire, share our stories of grief, grace, and hope, because we are all longing for the last place that we called home. Marcy, thank you so much.
Keep that noise going for Cobra Collins, everyone. Your Bout 1 host of the evening. Also give a round of applause for that hosting that you had in the first round. We'd love to see it, and you'll see lots more of it. What do you call it? Judges, this is the beginning of a new round, just so you know. I'm actually going to give you a second, because I noticed You know, sometimes scores, they start to do things as rounds go on. This is a new round. That's your first poet of the round to calibrate. Now, 3, 2, 1, put them up. All right. We have 3 9.5s. We've got a 9.4. And we've got a 9.8. Get over the poetry and not the points. This is the official beginning of the second round. On deck, we've got Alita Casey, but hitting the hybrid screen to my right is Tafumi Akinlalu. Keep that noise going for Tafumi, everyone. And judges, we're going to keep that energy going. 3, 2, 1. Put them up. Putting them up. I know that going from hybrid back into the real world is wild. It takes a sec. All right, we got a 9.6. Yeah, let them know what you think. We got a 9.6. We got a 9.4, a 9.3, and a 9.4. Applaud the poetry and not the points. On deck we have Chuki, but please give a warm welcome to Alita Casey, everyone. All the way to the stage.
I wonder if I was wicked. Was a servant, perhaps an heir, a witch, a wicked one. I'm a child, I'm looking at my closet, shades and shades of oceans of blue, and suddenly I'm sad. Because blue is what servants wear. And how can my mummy fill my closet with blue? Service to what? Service to who? Devotion, humility. My name suddenly changed to Cinderella, but the truth is, I picked them out. I wonder if I was a servant, if I was wicked, perhaps an heir and witch, a wicked one. I'm a child and I'm sitting in the back seat questioning my mommy. Do you think that when we're born, we're just redoing life over and over again until we get it right? Like maybe I'm a version of you, but was made at a time when you could have made a choice differently, and suddenly we get a redo. I wonder if I was a servant, if I was wicked, perhaps an heir, a wicked one. Suddenly I'm 6 years old. Having conversations of reincarnation. My mother asks how does my cookum play into this? And what of her sisters? And I proceed to tell her about timelines and purposes, and my aunties having their own goals and purposes. Finishing lines they have to complete, whether they do it or not. They still all tie into Cookum's story. But me, I'm a version of you. I'm directly from you. And same with my child when I have babies too. And that's what matters. That's what counts. So I wonder if I was a servant, if I was wicked, perhaps an heir, a wicked one. I'm a child and I'm walking in the dark and I'm scared because I can see the tiny red and blue dots following me. And I find myself praying, please, Creator, only good, only good. But they seem to be the same ones I see in the sweat lodge when Mushroom Eagle wipes your head with a flap of his wings. And when I look out my bedroom window at night, I know I'm not supposed to. They dance. It's like they followed me home. They stayed with me after the lodge. And I get up close and I push my nose against the window and I ask them questions like, who are you and why are you here? Their responses muffled and static. I wonder if I was a servant, if I was an heir, maybe a wicked one. I'm a child and I'm awake with tears flooding my face and panicked because my heart feels like my love for you has been ripped out of my chest without my consent. See, I saw you standing there, Mummy, wearing a beautiful white satin nightgown covered in ash and soot. And your hair barely held back by Cookum's kerchief, but you're not Cookum. You look like my mummy, and these two energies tied together give me a warm embrace from outstretched arms. Shh, my girl, it'll all be okay. My eyes drift past your hug, looking for answers, and our home is nothing but crumble now. The foundation shook with fire, and I wonder if it was from the lightning beams I see dancing in the sky behind you. I wonder if I was a servant, if I was an heir, maybe a witch, but definitely not wicked.
Please keep that noise going for Alita Casey, everyone. Now, judges, you're doing so good. You've been so good the whole night. Let's see those scores. 3, 2, 1. Put them up. We've got a 9.1. We have an 8.9. And we have 3 9.2s. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. But we got a time, whatever. Yeah, what's the time? What? So people are yelling. What's the time? 3:27, rat bastard. I don't even know the parent of that rat time. What do you call it? All right, keep that energy going. On deck, we got Shaft. And please give a warm welcome to the stage, Chuki.
Superman and I are extremely fly. I was 6 when I started jumping off my mother's dresser, practicing swimming in the sky. After several years of crashing under its gravity, my father put me at the back seat of a Boeing 747 spacecraft and sent me to a foreign universe. On arriving at the belly of its border was the first time my charcoal skin will burn under white snow and my green Nigerian passport would glow like kryptonite. slowly but surely keeping me from moving through immigration. The officer asked, "What is your intention here? Do you have any family here? Any goods to declare?" But the stamp on my passport had runs his knife through my name. This was the first time I knew that names could bleed. See, the reason Clark Kent hides his name Kal-El with his other Kryptonian baggage is not because he is ashamed of his Kryptonian identity, but because a name can only be cut so many times before it loses its life so often. I pull out my name from all the places I have let it to hide and speak it back into existence so it remembers never to die. See, Superman and I have the misfortune of having so much in common. His father put him at the backseat of a spaceship and sent him to a foreign universe to save his life, to protect his family legacy, to share his gift to the world, a refugee, a migrant, an illegal alien. See, Superman and I know what it means to be alien. They are not the monsters rising from the Pacific Rim, not electricity from the ether, not men of melanin or steel, crossing oceans, crossing valleys, crossing galaxies, digging through tunnels, rusting in search of paper salvation by the millions who keep them out. We know this because there's nothing human about watching a body baked breathless under Mediterranean sun water, washing their last whisper into a hashtag. We know this because there's nothing human about ripping child away from mother like miscarriage, because color of passport is different from color of skin. Tell us again, what makes a child an alien? Tell me when the invasion happened. Was it before or after these wars were built? These laws were built, and lines drawn on maps cut through kin like surgery. We know that aliens live amongst us. They are knocking on freedom's gate, waiting on the greatest escape, their names plastered on papers to skyscrapers from Ottawa metropolis to Vegas. Harper Corp, Luther Corp, Trump Corp, too far right to be right. National bigotry, dog whisper for national security. They say we came to take, I say we came to build. After ours was taken, for Superman and I, home is never a place. Barely an idea. Father is a disembodied voice mediated through technology, growing grayer than the Arctic after every conversation still. We wear his name like the S on our chest. See, this is where we have landed. By chance or by choice, our greatest superpower is not to fly. Our greatest superpower is to stay.
Please keep that noise going for Shop, everyone. And judges, a 3, 2, 1. Put up those scores. Put up those scores. Yeah, all right. We've got, I'm just going to do it this way because it's quicker, all right? 3 9.7s. And we got 2 9.8s. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right, on deck we have, oh my goodness, on deck we have Jules. But please give a warm welcome to the stage for Shop, everyone.
God's kingdom is quiet today. The denizens of heaven are silent as young children of God greet them far too soon. There is no celebration, no harmony of hymns to herald them home, but a parade of unfulfilled dreams floods the promised land. Children pushed to the golden gates by a lead ending. Children who never finished the lives they were destined, promised, the lives they had every right to pursue. It was stripped away by those who denied their right to feel protected, by men in suits who say a man's right to kill is worth more than your right to live, abandoned by politicians who long deserted their principles for their right to profit. Children who commit no crime are subject to a life sentence of something that could have been. This war zone is America. They call this place home. God's wardrobe turns darker every day. There's no time to wear white when you mourn more than you pray. Santa Fe, Parkland, Marshall County, schools should be sanctuaries that safeguard brighter futures. Kids attend classes intended to take them to higher places, but getting wings and a halo were never part of the curriculum. They had dreams, aspirations, hopes. They were going to change the world someday. Now the future of our nation is the headline on their tombstone. Now the trophy cases are memorials and the gymnasium hosts funerals. Now children are told the promise of coming home is not one they can keep. School shouldn't come with a hall pass to heaven. The American dream has citizens cradling AR-15s whilst babies are buried in mass graves. The amendments are preached as gospel, but turning the other cheek won't work against a high-caliber bullet. A graveyard of tiny tombs and kids in caskets will never be redeemed by thoughts and prayers alone. A day of change must come. So have faith. Keep fighting. And until that day, I pray heaven has a beautiful playground.
Keep that noise going for Schaff, everyone. And judges in a 3, 2, 1. Up with those scores. Up with those scores. I know it's getting late. We have 2 9.7s. We got 2 9.4s. And we got a 9.5. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right. On deck, you've got Carla, but please welcome up to the stage, Jules, everyone.
I am a wild dog. He is a predator, which is to say that I try to run, but he is fast, he is strong, and he is hungry. He grabs me by the scruff. His hands are firm, practiced. He presses down, down, down until my ribs touch the dirt, my legs buckle, my breath hitches. The hunger is gone. I am gone. He presses down, down, down. My legs spasm, kick, fold. The fight is still in me, but it is smaller now, quieter. I am smaller now, quieter. Down, down, down. I cannot tell where the dirt ends and I begin. Down, down, down. I am not a wild dog anymore. I am just a thing shaking. I am just a thing waiting on her knees. I look up at him. The sun, a shining halo around his wicked head, and I start to beg, Master, Master, tell me what I did wrong. I sit, lay down, roll over, play dead, all at your command. Master, Master, what have I done wrong? My ribs ache, my legs tremble, my stomach twists when your heels flash away. Master, Master, I was a good dog. I was a good girl. I was a good girl, I swear. I was a good girl. But I am not a good girl anymore. I am a wild dog of a woman. I am feral. I am stupidly brave. I see him and I am ready to fight. My lips peel back, my tongue lolls and salivates. I show the whites of my eyes and the yellow of my teeth, and I can already taste his blood. It is warm and wet and sweet. I growl, I lunge, I bite. I want to leave my mark on him. I want to take something from him. A chunk of flesh, a jawbone, his tongue, something, anything to prove that I was here.
Please keep that noise going for Jules, everyone. And judges, we're almost there. 3, 2, 1, put them up. We've got two 9.5s. We've got an 8.8. We've got a 9.3. And we've got a 9.7. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. On deck, you got 1990s Chris, but please welcome up to the stage, Carla.
There are those days on which I run out of new lessons to learn and old ones to relive. While I have no interest in homecomings, I've always been prone to familiar prisons. To be intimate with panic means to feel it as premonition. Willing to win battles with both hands in the air to prove you only fought with the weapons you were given. It means being able to see the fear in the future much clearer than the good in the next step. I'm saying I cannot see further than the first few sentences, provided you say them all in the right order. Then I'll change my patterns of speech so I can sound the way you do, so my syllables each resonate with your worldview, to remind you that I will never answer truthfully if the question is a lie. I know you to be very dishonest. At least now you know I'll never speak out of line. And if you put your pride up as collateral damage, I promise to put up mine. There are those days you happen to glimpse the soft white underbelly of the planet. And it is frightening to think someone invited you here knowing you were in danger. So a minute ago you may have found space to give grace, but this minute it gives way to anger. I will be filing open cases against everybody. Delivering lawsuits, serving restraining orders, mailing a cease and desist. I need some mothers to come to terms with all the signs that they missed. I need fathers to take an interest. I need every parent to present proof or paperwork that you wanted your child to exist. And I need it today. I am the least nihilistic person you will ever meet. I am very scarcely known to accept defeat. I have a sister who always knows before I succeed. She understands that for some of us, hunger is greatness embodied. I know that all the good in the world renews while I'm asleep. I just have some questions. And then there are those days on which you reconcile with the child in you, forgiving the child issue. That kid had no weapons to fight with and still won a few battles. This should warrant compassion and pride. They fought so that you do not have to hide. Where I come from, we were taught to honor those who go before us. In other words, you are your own ancestor. And you have earned the right to be free, to become that child's wildest dream. Look how there is always more hope than it seems.
Keep that noise going for Carla, everyone. And judges, we got a 3, 2, 1. Put them up. We've got a 9.5. We've got a 9.6. We've got a 9.4, and we have two 9.7s. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. On deck, we've got B. Wright Wood, but please give a warm welcome to 1990s Chris, everyone.
When I left my flat, the harness, the fur coat, and my mate's matte lipstick seemed like the perfect idea. But I'm in a queue, wrestling with loose change in a deep pocket of fear. I'm in a kebab shop under strip lights, and I feel very queer. I speak to the same man I always do, trying to avoid his eye. I focus on the questionable collage of fruit and veg to the left of the menu. All right, mate? I resist the urge to tell him it's fancy dress or wink and say it's only for the missus and she loves it. I come clean with, how's it going? He reaches over the counter and shakes my hand as he always does. I look at him gratefully. He looks at me, knowing. The fear passes me by for a moment. He gives me a tightly wrapped cylinder full of fat with a wide smile, says, "It's busy, sorry. The chips are going to be a little while." I say, "It's fine, thanks." I hear the unmistakable tones of one-upmanship, the slurred drawl of tenuous pint-inspired friendship, and I sink a little as it swells behind me. I hear a deep voice colored by rollies and too much shouting. Excuse me, mate, what's that? I turn. He's wearing an enthusiastically branded t-shirt, a curb chain, a cap, and a grin that I've seen before. He holds himself like he's trying to scare a bear, like he's got an aubergine between his legs. I look around at the girl relying on her boyfriend for balance, at the uni types discussing how many hot wings they could eat for a challenge, at the guy taking phone orders with a finger in his ear, at the rave baby on the phone saying, "We're waiting for chips, can you get Amelia to come here?" At that man who just ordered a plain burger and is still drinking a can. I'm in search and hope that I'm not the person that he is looking for, but I am. Aware of the lipstick stain on my halloumi wrap, and in between my beard and soul patch, I take his question to be a threat. The cheap buckle on my harness is tested as I puff out my chest. I force it to grow in the only way I know how to occupy this space. I use my man voice from football, from when I meet people's dads and brothers. And I insert some certainty. You what, mate? What's that you got? What? The wrap, it looks well good. Oh, it's just halloumi. With all the salad? Yeah, mate, all the salad. Nice one, have a good night. I get my chips. I wipe the grease from my forehead, and I step out into the streetlight.
Keep that noise going for 1990s Chris. And judges, 3, 2, 1, put them up. All right, we have two 9.7s. We got a 9.2. We got a 9.5 and a 9.6. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right, on deck, we have the poet before the pre-penultimate poet. Ivana is on deck. But before that, please give a very warm welcome to Be Right Word, everyone. All the way to the stage.
Lately, I feel my muse have become a rusty, rickety bicycle struggling under the rain. And I wonder who still writes when their minds have become an abattoir of worry. And Mr. Politics stands at the gate as the butcher man with a knife, the shape of a flower and the face of wildfire. I mean, who still writes when the stories constantly trigger the concept of complacency on a few at the top with a near zero impact? Let me break it down. See, where I come from, there is a fundamental desire by politicians to remain deaf to the legitimate cries of the people. Politics remain the mystery word for go hang yourself. Mean? Well, countless times I've given my body the freedom of rising above the belief system that it's not what it is. But for over 2 decades of careful watch, I've been heartbroken since no political break of dawn has gifted my spirit an olive branch, and it hurts. It hurts even more to know that a common technique to stay alive is to wear death as a lip gloss and kiss your dreams with it. Because nothing, as far as politics is concerned, nothing comes to pass, not even the prophecies of the book of law. Like, how can a country watch you break from your bloodline where a full moon of memories help you sleep and wake you up at the right side of the bed just for the sake of traversing in search of greener pastures? And the thing is, respectfully, the grass is not always green on the other side. I mean, there is a season for a seas in the melodies of swaying branches of 3 leaves, a seas in the sparkling, beautiful blue eyes of a summer sky, and then, of course, the frigid feeling of my fingers to fight the funny frowns of cold that holds my throat like a wolverine claw. But I'm grateful for the flexible status of our bodies. I mean, our body's flexible nature is pure magic, and sometimes I wonder what actually wins at AGT. Anyway, My sister recently birthed a baby, and I desperately wanted to be there and celebrate the strength she pulled through to push her way out of Calvary, even when her doctor had recommended she went under the knife. I want to pat her shoulders the same way good music enters the ears of the soul, soft and sweet, and say to her, "Oh, Adanem, Ibu nwanyi siri ike, my mother's daughter, you are a strong woman, but we're a deep blue Atlantic Ocean apart, and I blame it on the politics of where I come from." You see, the last time my mom and I spoke on the phone, I could hear her heartbeat crossing the distance between us the way she calls me, "Oh, Nwam Kekimere. My son, how are you?" "I'm fine," I would usually respond, but she knows. She knows that I miss her so much, just how the universe sometimes misses our concrete decision to stay happy irrespective of life's troubles. But the consolation she buries her body into like baptism is the fact that I married a paragon of peace, the one whose beauty I like to think of as sunset at Santorini. And that's one thing my country's politics couldn't deny me of, my ability to fall freely like a bird into a deep sea of true love.
Keep that noise going for Be Right Word, everyone. And judges, just a few more times tonight. 3, 2, 1, put up them scores. All right, we have two 9.8s. We got two 9.6s. And we got a 9.7. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. But we got a rat bastard in the room. What's the time? 3:20? 3:12. 3:12. The scorekeepers will do things like that. Yo, nah, you'd ruin it for everyone, but it was well worth it. Please just make applause. Make better noise than the booing. We need that. We need that. All right. What's it called? On deck? On deck, you have your pre-penultimate poet, Brittany, but please make some noise for Ivana, everyone!
Dear little girl, it's been a while since I saw you, since we last met. It's been a while since we were in the same room, that I was around your breath. I wonder how you're doing. I know you see everything, so tell me if you're okay. Our goodbye was a little dramatic. I mean, what's more jarring than leaving your home and moving to another continent far, far away and calling that home? What's more jarring, trying to fit into this new home, yet being reminded every day that you're a stranger, that you're not from here? I swear, if I hear, "But were you born here?" one more time, I'll say, "No, the place where I was born is riddled with poverty, corruption, and pollution, so that's why I'm here in these great white mountains that sit on stolen lands fighting for my life. I had nothing else to do but escape the disenfranchisement of my country, compliments of colonization, but really, I just traded one corrupt place for another. At least the air isn't as polluted here, just the minds. I think borders separate us, at least it feels like it. Dear little girl, tell me if you're scared. It's been tough watching the people around you leave. Weeds are not as strong as they used to be. They wither under their footprints. Tell me if you feel it too, this feeling of dread, being afraid to go anywhere alone. I don't know if you've heard, but that's not the trait of a strong black girl. You need to be funny. You need to be approachable. You need to be a doll, a hun, a sweet, sweet, sweet jar of honey. You need ears to be wide enough to fit everyone's questions and thoughts and feelings and fears. And you need to realize that talking back will get you nowhere. And wait, why are you yelling? Yes, your voice is getting louder as you're speaking. You need to calm down, little girl. But wait, before you go, tell me, do you see me? I mean, dear little girl, are you proud of me? I tried my hardest, I really did. I took your dreams and hopes with me when I left you behind for this new home on these great white mountains that sit on stolen lands. I opened your journal and used your words to map out my life. How am I doing? Do I look like what you imagined? Is this the life you wanted for yourself? Is this enough for you? Am I enough? Do you still pray? Are you still pray? Do you have any more dreams? Is it a dream where we don't disappoint each other, where my mistakes don't live up here? Can I let go of some of your dreams so that I can draw some of mine? Will that be all right? Dear little girl, will you let me grow up? Can I live my life? I know borders separate us, but chains, they have a funny way of humbling us.
Keep that noise going for Ivana, everyone. And judges, you got a couple more times to do this. 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. All right, we've got a 9.8. Yeah, let them know what you think. We got 2 9.5s. We got a 9.7. And we got a 9.6. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right, on deck, we have our penultimate poet, Catherine Garrett. But please give it up for your pre-penultimate poet, Brittany, everyone.
In 2018, some scientists played with snails. Hold on. In 2018, some scientists played with snail brains. This sounds insane. Let me get this straight. In 2018, some scientists transplanted a memory from the brain of one snail into the brain of another. But that's probably not quite right either, see, because in 2018, some scientists took genetic product from the brain of a snail who'd been trained and placed it into the brain of a snail who'd remained untrained. And they observed something strange. See, that snail, still untrained, but now with forward encode in its brain, behaved as though it had been trained. Now, it's important to note that the training had been done with electric shocks, and that is pain, and no, nothing so outrageous as to kill or maim, just enough to adjust the way that snail brain behaved and for that god-awful memory of the shock to remain. It's impossible to say whether the new snail actually recalled traversing that maze with its walls and electric shocks, or whether it found itself suddenly, inexplicably, filled with the vague sense that something bad was about to happen. They call that dread, and they've done this with rats too, you know, associated a sound with an ouch and found that same fear response in the subsequent rat pups. This probably goes back as far as history, this imprint of danger etched in our DNA, and I sometimes find myself suddenly, inexplicably, filled with the vague sense that something bad is about to happen. And I wonder what happened to my mother, or her mother before, or her mother's 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 mother. It's always mothers, isn't it? Sometimes it's fathers. Family secrets, in rooms just like this, with its walls and electric shocks, and doors that don't lock and hearts that do. Our fathers into antiquity, who first tasted all those mushrooms and berries, learned that that bitter taste meant poison was likely. Are you all familiar with the phenomenon of the uncanny valley? It's rhetorical, I'm going to tell you anyway. The uncanny valley phenomenon occurs when we observe something really, overall, on the whole, when taken together anyway, quite human, but not quite really overall, on the whole, when taken together anyway, human. And that discrepancy between what we know to be like and what is so subtly unlike is what forms the valley uncanny that grows so full of dread that it overflows, like the pot of pasta boiling on your stove, flows directly into our agape gullets, finds home in the pits of our stomachs to bubble and flood and leach into our blood and deliver that hurricane warning to our brain. That dread and discomfort with our human, not human consort. Warning! Something is not quite right. Warning! This thing is not quite human-like. Warning! Something bad is about to happen. And as I sit here in the valley, I can't help but wonder just what happened to our mothers or their mothers before. Thank you.
Keep that applause going for Brittany, everyone. Judges, literally 2 more times tonight. Let's see it. 3, 2, 1. Up with those scores. All right. From nowhere in particular, we got a 9.3. We got, yeah, tell them what you think. We got 9.4. We got 2 9.5s. And we got 9.7. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. All right, on deck, you got your ultimate poet of the evening, Merchant of Poetry, but please give a warm welcome to your penultimate poet of the evening, Catherine Garrett. Catherine Garrett.
After giving up coffee, Diet Coke, booze, and cigarettes all in the same month, I've turned into a real cunt. They give me an ECG before they ask my name when I show up to the ER. Chest full of trespassing TV static, bones buzzing with bees and teeth, hacksaws for heartbeats. I've called 911 for myself twice in 1 week. I can't talk to God without the stars hanging up on me. 2 tablets of Ativan, and have you ever had a panic attack before? Get blood work, get a chest x-ray, get an echocardiogram, a heart monitor, 3 liters IV fluids, and when the 3rd doctor in 5 days says, I can't help you, I'm 6, pleading with my parents to check under my bed for something they don't think exists, alone in the back of an ambulance, what metaphor am I supposed to use? In my dreams, I hunt my body for monsters, clutch my vertebrae, you're clearly suffering, but there's nothing I can do. Freshwater pearls and cadaver fingers, you should feel lucky. I see people with real problems. Repeat the proverb or the prescription underneath my sternum, alive with stinging scripture, Psalm chapter 20 milligram periwinkle-colored propranolol, verse 2 times a day. Syringe my limbs with B12 so I can swallow holy hexagons till I'm hollow and my heart rate horizontal. Press pills between palms in a paranoid prayer. Hail Mary, full of grace, please pick up the pieces of my patchwork pulse. I guarantee you this isn't a cardiac issue. It must be something wrong in your head. Hooked up to oxygen and adenosine, counting ceiling tiles from my ER bed, there's no reason to be upset. As if I can remember what good rest feels like. I'm scared to fall asleep. After I come home, my friends tell me to put this in a poem. Really, it's an autopsy, a vivisection, a bouquet of triggers, blooms, a racing heartbeat, bloody. I examine them like organs, trying to find out what I missed. Push the twin IV bruises, keeping watch from both wrists. And when nothing changes, I play pretend. I drink more water, eat more salt, and give up hot showers. Shroud symptoms in stories, and sorry I ghosted you. I've just been really tired lately. Going to urgent care a 4th time after everything and after nothing. A nurse finally takes me seriously, and all the wires, they turn to wings.
Please keep that noise going for your penultimate poet of the evening, Catherine Garrett. Judges, last couple times. Up with those scores. Sorry, I didn't count you down. I did the same thing as Cobra. I didn't count you down. 9.1. We got a 9.6. We got a 9.4. We got a 9.8 and a 9.7. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. On deck, we have the end of the slam, but please give a warm welcome to the Merchant of Poetry, everyone.
My butch is not hard. Not a square cinder block woman with short hair spiked like barbed wire does not stand like a clenched fist. My butch is soft. Fingertips make craters in my flesh like memory foam. Long hair for fingers to comb. My butch opens fist into an outstretched palm. But my butch makes people uncomfortable. Calls herself by name and is folded into the tight walls of a box. Bleeds over the edges like broken yolks. She has to convince people of everything she is not. So my butch is not intimidating. Not a heartthrob lady killer does not cast a wide net. Turn straight women belly up with ease, date like catch and release. My butch is not a costume, not playing dress up in toxic masculinity, hearkened into a cheap Halloween mask, the illusion of a familiar creature who takes, but never asks. My butch is not. My butch takes and never asks. My butch is not a My butch is not a challenge. My butch is not a challenge, not a body to be scavenged by men who wish to know me religiously. Mount my head on the wall like a trophy. See, they all give it up eventually. It doesn't matter if it's said to me or about me. My butch is words in someone else's mouth, spoken about in the third person, her gender nonconformity negotiated into monstrosity. So my butch is not up for debate. The only skin I wear fits like a suit of armor. When men catcall, my tongue forks into spear tips. My chest hardens into a breastplate because no man will ever make my girl feel small and get away with it, and my butch is protective. But she leaves her armor at the door. Comes to use soft as memory foam in the circle of my arms. I create a home not just for you, but for me too. My butch is not breaking things. It is learning how to build. Because when this body went pear-shaped, made mountains in the valleys I had grown to love, my butch built bridges over the chasms, made my borders foundations to build new civilizations. My butch is my love, my soul, my voice, and she is not a monster, but a reason to rejoice.
Keep that noise going for the Merchant of Poetry, everyone. Judges, let's see it. 3, 2, 1, up with those scores. All right, we have a 9.7. We got a 9.7. And we got 3 9.8s. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. And we don't, yeah, all right. That brings us to the tail end of our crazy gladiator match we've been rolling through this whole entire time. And y'all have been here, whoever's been here like this whole time, y'all real as hell. Like super real, what the fuck, yeah. Some people chickened out partway through, whatever. Take care of yourselves, I guess. It's what you're good at. Anyway, am I supposed to do something? Is this like, we're just going home now? Are we announcing anything? Like the people? What are we doing? Can
Give
you
it
tell
up
me
for
what
your
we're
host,
doing?
Tawaham,
I don't
everybody.
know what the fuck's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. 2 more bouts, 48 more poems, 4 minute and the 1 minute round. See you there.
Bye, guys.
Bye.